Hello and welcome to episode 36 of Rebuilding Chelsea on FM23. I'm Jamie, and coming up on today's episode, two games for you. We are away to Red Bull Leipzig in the Champions League and then at home to Manchester City in the Premier League. So let's get straight into it, and the team for the game against Red Bull Leipzig is coming up in just a moment. Okay, here is the team to face Red Bull Leipzig then, and it is Simon in goal, back four of Cucurella, Botman, Fofana and James, Bellingham at the base of midfield, Fernandes and Thuram ahead of him. It's Mudryk on the left wing, Sterling on the right and Sesko up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, well, my assistant manager wants them to show that the recent praise has been justified. Don't think there's been a lot of recent praise, to be honest. So, I'm going to need to take the pressure off because I don't expect us to win. So, I am going to say, play without pressure. And it's going to be hard to get a result. We tried to play with positivity. Don't see why we're not capable of turning up and playing well. So let's get into the match and see if we can manage to get a win. As you can see, we are currently 7th in the qualifying standings. That is enough to go through, but it is by the skin of our teeth. So I would like us to do it under our own steam and get the win here, as Botman plays it into Enzo, but we win it back. Mudryk to Sesko, who's given it away again. It's played back to the goalkeeper for Red Bull. Fofana wins the header though. Bellingham to James, into Thuram, back to Fofana, Botman into Enzo Fernandez, on to Sesko. This time he plays it out to Sterling on the right, into Mudryk, who finds the back of the net. We've played 7 minutes. It's Red Bull Leipzig 0, Chelsea 1. So good start. Can we capitalise on that and improve our league position? So Botman with a free kick to Mudryk, back to Botman, into Fernandes, who's given it away, and Red Bull can come again. Haidara, Taylor for Red Bull, into Adamu, and it's hit the woodwork. James clears, Sterling, and the highlight comes to an end. So as it stands, we're 5th in the league standings. That's fine. So Enzo Fernandez to Reece James. Reece James down the right. Plays it back to Bellingham, into Mudryk. Fernandez shoots and hits the crossbar. Highlight comes to an end. We've played 15 minutes. And still holding on to that 1-0. Let's encourage. It's going alright at the moment. And as it stands, Manchester City are not going through directly. They're going to have to qualify. So we're at least doing better than that. Fofana to Enzo Fernandez, back to Botman. Cucurella, diagonal ball, played on to Thuram, into Sesko, and he finds the back of the net. Red Bull Leipzig 0. Chelsea 2, but there is an appeal for offside, and the verdict from VAR is that the goal's given. It is 2-0, and that puts us still 5th in the table, just a point behind Real Madrid. So Simon to Botman, across to Fofana, Botman again, back to Simon, who goes long this time. It's aimed at Sesko, who can't win it, but he picks up the loose ball and then gives it away. Red Bull can bring it clear. Olmo, but we've won it back. Sesko on the right hand side now. He needs to be in the middle really. Sesko cuts it back for Mudryk, And Mikhailo Mudryk finds the back of the net. That's 3-0. And this game is as good as over. Mudryk will not be coming out for the second half, but I think everybody else will be. And that is the halftime whistle. So let's go make that change. Happy. And so Mudryk off. And Evanilson on. And I think that will do. So we'll go out for the second half, start and encourage again. We're doing really well at the moment, so give them some encouragement. See if we can maybe strengthen our position further. Lima to Nkunku. Haidara plays it over the top. Fofana clears. Sterling picks up the loose ball, crosses halfway, plays it back to James. Enzo Fernandez through for Evanilson, and he shoots wide when there was an open goal to aim at. So big chance goes begging. Fingers crossed that won't come back to bite us in the latter stages of this one. So with 70 minutes gone, we'll make another 2 changes. So let's do those now. And we'll take Botman off and bring on Silva. And we'll take Fernandez off and bring on Simons. And that will do for now. So we'll restart the watch, and with 10 minutes to go we'll make our remaining changes. So Fofana to Silva, Bellingham back to Simon, Silva to Fofana, Silva to Bellingham, back to the keeper. We can't get out at the moment. We keep being forced back to the goalkeeper. Fofana this time does look forward, and it's flicked on by Evanilson, but there's nobody ahead of him. So the ball's given away. Haidara back to Smakan. Kukureya's won it back, but gives it immediately back to Red Bull. And James wins it back, but then gives it away himself. And it's become really, really scrappy at this stage, as Red Bull hit the crossbar and James hammers it out for a throw-in. So, into the final. In fact, we're forced into a change earlier than expected. So Benjamin Sesko will be replaced by Moukoko. And I'll also take, let's bring Guendouzi on for Bellingham, and we'll confirm those. So 10 minutes to go, all subs made with 3-0 to the good, still 5th in the standings. Real Madrid are not currently playing, I don't think. So that is the full-time whistle. Red Bull Leipzig 0, Chelsea 3. I'll be back in a moment with the second match of today's episode. Okay, time now for the second match of today's episode, and a home Premier League game against Manchester City. The team for this one is heavily influenced by injuries and fitness worries, and it is Simon in goal, back four is Chilwell, Colwill, Silva and Vanderson, Guendouzi at the base of midfield, Simons and Mount ahead of him, Sterling on the left, João Mario on the right, Evanilson up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, well, my assistant manager wants them again to show recent praise is justified. This is the game I absolutely don't expect us to get anything out of. So, I'm not going to agree with him. What are we going to say? Enjoy the match, go out and play your own game. And let's get into the tunnel. What's the secret behind your good home record? Hard work in training. If you can score goals, you'll always have a chance. What's your thoughts about the recent run of fixtures? We all play the same teams eventually. Okay, let's get into the match and see if we can manage to squeak a result against the league leaders. We are the home side, so we have got half a chance, but they are definitely a better team than we are. So can we manage to close the gap today? 15 minutes gone. First highlight is a Chelsea highlight. Colwell to Simons, who gives it straight back to him, and then we lose the ball. Foden's ball forward, flicked on, and it's cleared. But Doyle hits the crossbar and Vanderson gets it away. We got away with one there somewhat. And let's encourage. I wasn't sure whether to go encourage or calm down at that point. I've gone with encourage. It's gone down okay. So, 0-0's not a bad scoreline, as the City corner is cleared, but Son picks it up, plays it back to Lewis, dinked forward, Stones back to Scalvini, Ruben to Lewis, onto Son, Lewis back to Ruben, all the way back to Ederson in goal. He comes out of his area, finds Lewis, Lewis down the left wing, cuts back, finds Foden, to Lewis again, into Ilkay Gundogan, infield to Foden, finds Abada, and it's a brilliant save from Simon to deny him. So it'll be Foden with the corner, headed away, I think it was Colwell, and it's out for a throw-in. Highlight comes to an end. We've survived half an hour with the scoreline intact. Ederson's goal kick, short to Ruben, plays it across to Scalvini, into Doyle. Abada forced backwards to Doyle, who goes long and finds Stones. His shot is high and wide. So let's calm down. Let's just calm things down a little and just get to half time. City have been the better team, but we're still very much in the match. And let's right, play the rest of the match with freedom, and let's make some changes. So Sterling's going to come off to be replaced. In fact, I'm going to put Mason Mount on the wing, and then I'm going to replace Raheem Sterling with Jude Bellingham. And I'm also going to replace Ben Chilwell with Marc Cucurella. And that'll do. So 2 changes. Start the second half. Let's encourage the boys. See if we can manage to find a goal from somewhere. Foden though for City, back to Ruben. Scalvini into Doyle. Scalvini to Abada. Over the top for Haaland, looks suspiciously offside, and that's a good save by the keeper, so it will be a corner, and it's Foden with the outswinging corner into the middle, headed away. Mason Mount thought he'd got there, but the highlight came to an end. So almost an hour into the match, still 0-0. Plenty of room for optimism, but it's another City attack. Foden headed away, but Ruben Diaz, and it's headed over the crossbar. So we get away with it again. Guendouzi to Mark Haaland. No, definitely not. Right, João Mario into Evanilson, gives the ball away, and City can come again, but Mario's won it back on the right. He's going to need some help. Gets round his man. Can he find a cross? He's done better than that. He's found the back of the net, and it is Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0. 61 minutes gone. So that is brilliant. Let's praise the boys now. And the header from City goes over the crossbar. So the next highlight we get away with. And that does tighten things up a little bit. So we're now 7 points adrift of Man City, who are no longer top of the league. Lewis dispossessed. Evanilson to Mount onto João Mario. And Ederson cuts the cross out and launches it straight down the middle. Leave it for Simon. He picks it up and gives it to Vanderson. João Mario dispossessed. Haaland plays it back to his keeper Ederson, who chips it forward and gives the ball away. Mount dispossessed, but we've won it back high up the pitch, and Evanilson has doubled our lead. It is Chelsea 2, Manchester City 0. We've got 20 minutes to hold on for the win. So Mason Mount needs to come off, and we'll bring on Ez Abde. We need to make a change up front. So we'll bring on Makoku. Evanilson's won it, but then immediately gives it back. Gundogan into Grealish, finds Coman, and Coman beats Unai Simon at close range. And it is Chelsea 2, Manchester City 1. So let's demand more at this stage. Phillips to Scalvini. Doyle to Stones. Plays it forward, but Cucurella cuts it out. He plays it back to Unai Simon. Out to Guendouzi. Finds Vanderson on the right. Forward for João Mario. Infield, and Ez Abde gets there ahead of the keeper. And is it going to count? At the moment the scoreboard says 3-1, and VAR says that is correct. So it is Chelsea 3, Manchester City 1, and that should be game over. Into the final few minutes, so we'll go attacking to wrap things up. And it is Stones with a throw-in into Doyle. Gundogan gives it straight to Abde, who finds Makoku. João Mario's in, and it's 4-1. So in the end, it's going to be a comfortable Chelsea victory over the former league leaders. And there is the full-time whistle. Chelsea 4, Manchester City 1. I'll be back in a moment with the league table and to tell you what's coming up on the next episode. Okay, here is the Premier League table then, and as you can see we're in 4th place in the league with 11 wins, 6 defeats from our 17 matches, so still no draws all season long, 33 points on the board, 7 adrift of new league leaders Liverpool, and let's take a look now at when we're going to come back. And we have seen off most of the Champions League. There is a break now until the next game. So I think what I'm going to do is come back and show you both our remaining Champions League games against Sarpsborg and Feyenoord, and I'll play the Southampton game in the middle off camera. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Monday to Friday Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.